Hey, I'm Cantrell.
What?
Hey, I'm Adam Cantrell.
Hey, I'm Mason Mulkey.
And we are best friend Basson.
Yeah.
Alright, today we're talking about the lipless crankbait. Or rattle trap. Typically these are used for the wintertime for cold water bass that have lockjaw or very cold and they will not bite typically. See, if you want to get that big old bass to get up and just eat your bait, right here's the perfect bait for it. Let me explain why. See, the lipless crankbait, they have these rattles in them. You can hear them. And they go on the bottom near the warmer pockets, which are on the bottom, because the fish stay in the deeper water in the wintertime, because top water is the coldest part. So, and these right here go in the bottom, which is a plus. Also, they are a fast moving bait. So the bass that are very cold and are not very active just swipe at it, and they most of the time they eat it. If it goes right in front of them, they just swipe at it, eat it. And yeah, Mason, you just grab them. Here, okay.
So, this one and
Both of them.
Yeah. This one and this one are very identical. They have the exact same pattern of a baby. Why are you laughing for, Carol? See, that one actually got me right in the thumbnail.
Let's go.
I'll do that.
You want me to?
No, we'll keep that.
So, these rattle traps or lipless crankbaits have a baby bass pattern or a baby fish pattern on the side. They are very effective now because when bass are pre-spawn, they are very lethargic and they don't want to move. You guys don't know what lethargic means, do you? It means they're very lazy and don't want to move.
Alright. Thanks
Now
for
these-
that nice vocabulary, Mason.
Now these are silver-sided and they're very nice when the water are muddy or very foggy. They attract fish with the rattles. And this one has a little fin, which this one does not. Now this one is good for typical ponds because it has a crawdad imitation on the side. It is red, and it's just red. Now, this one, it has a chartreuse stripe down the side, or green, whatever. It has a turquoise ridge, and it has a white side to it.
All in all, these baits are perfect for the wintertime cold, lethargic bass.
They're very good at getting reaction strikes, and when nothing else works, these typically do. They have produced more fish in the winter than almost any other bait for us. Now, next, we're going to be talking to you about jerk baits.
So here's our jerk baits. We got 6 here, and these are several different types, sizes, and colors.
Jerk baits are very good this time of year. They usually run however deep the bill are, and how big it is, and how steep it angles down.
Depending on the steep
Angle.
and
Of
the
the
size.
Yeah. Usually these baits are really good this time of year because it imitates a dying minnow or a dying shad. And that's what these bass are looking for this time of year, is dying prey that they can get very easily with having to waste a lot of energy. Especially coming up to spawn, they want to find a lot of fish or food fast, so they have a lot of energy for spawn. So first off, we got about a 3-inch silver minnow with red eyes. I've caught a lot of crappie and bass on it this time of year. And next up, we have about a 5 to 6 inch jerkbait. It has a really nice crawdad imitation or crawfish pattern on the side. It's gray on the side and brown on the top, and has a little bit of orange on the belly of it, which really attracts them bass because they think the crawdad is dying, or it's got rattles in it too, so that attracts them in darker water. Next, we also got another 5 to 6 inch crank or jerk bait. It doesn't dive as deep as the last one because its bill is not very shallow. It is mostly yellow with black dots and stripes. It has a very silver and chrome belly, so it attracts backs in murky waters. Next up is just a little 3-inch jerk bait that's overall a good bait. And you can find these in a variety of colors, just whatever works in your own pond. It is black on the top and has brown little stripes on the side and is chartreuse and yellow. It also has a few small rattles inside. Next is the biggest jerkbait we have. It is very good in murky water because it's mostly chrome or silver colored. It has very shiny eyes and a really bright blue back that really attracts the bass. Next up, we have a special type, which is called a broken back. And they look so realistic in the water because they actually have a lot more movement than regular jerkbaits. This one is made by Rapala. It's black and has silver bottom with a red mouth where the bill is and has yellow eyes. It also has pretty big hooks, so you know the bass aren't going to go their way. So guys, that's mainly our jerkbaits that we use this time of year. They are really good at attracting the lethargic bass and
Very effective.
Yeah, very effective. That's a good word for it. Because they do imitate a dying fish very well. Especially with the jerky movements of them and how they act in the water and how they dart back and forth.
Also get the reaction strike, just like the rattle trap.
Yeah. The bass, they think it's a dying fish, so that movement of them thinks they can get the dying fish real easy. But when they do get it, it ends up to be a big old 10-pound bass that we just caught on a jerkbait because they were stupid and better bait. So next up, we're going to do square bills.
Here's our square bills. We don't use these as much because they're for deeper water.
They tend to run deeper in the water because of their bill size.
And the ponds we usually fish are around 10 foot deep. And
give or take.
Yeah, give or take. And these just run too deep, and you always get caught in the bottom and in
snags and cover and stuff. These are honestly better more in lakes or deeper ponds than they are just regular farm ponds. Like usually I use these when I'm out on the lake on our boat or something.
Yeah. Well, first here we gotta describe it, Mason.
It looks like a sky blue on top, and the sides are whitish and have red dots on the side. And they don't rattle.
Ow! I'm bleeding. Wait, it'll be demonetized.
Demonetized. Sorry. Just tell if they rattle or not. I can test that. So this one.
Ah!
Here, let's restart.
No. This is good.
So this one, it has a black top, a chartreuse side, and a black dot and a little red stripe indicating the gills. Got big old treble hooks on it too. Now this one, it has white sides, a red patch on its underbelly, and has some real nice speckles on the top that shimmer in the water. What did I say? Speckles. I don't care. Same thing. Now this one, it's a little bit beat up here on the back because so many launches I've had at it. But this one is black on the top and a little bit of chartreuse and a little bit of bronze or gold on the side with the red dots. This one, it has sort of a craw imitation or crawdad or crawfish, whatever you call them from wherever you're from. Has a black top and about some red glitter on the bottom and top. And it's bright orange with yellow eyes with no rattles. This last one is probably the most realistic shad or minnow imitation we have. It's got a real black top and little speckles on the side that indicate scales or whatever. Has a white belly and some red eyes. And big old treble hooks again. Now, like we said, the downside to these baits, you have to have a deep pond or deep lake or whatever with not that many snags. So they do get snagged really easy. Unlike the rattle traps, just kind of run at an angle, so they don't get snagged as often.
And as you've seen, if a big old bass has it and you're trying to unhook it and it starts thrashing, you have a good chance of getting stuck in the finger, like how he pulled it out of my hand and stuck my finger and it really hurt.
I mean, especially with these big old treble hooks, there's so much surface area to get caught on. That's why they're so easy to snag and
But
get hooked.
there's more chance of catching a bass.
Because they're more realistic imitations of just whatever you want them to be. They come in all sorts of sizes and colors, so you can really mimic whatever you're trying to mimic. It really works up most of the time.
Well, next we're probably going to be talking about blade baits like spinner baits and maybe a few chatter baits. And yeah, let's hop right over to it.